Yeah, we're pretty pleased. There's a lot of stuff that we were looking to get into the game that we did. You know, like any sort of match, whenever we concede some points, you know, there's some bits to look at as well. But overall, there's a first game for a lot of the guys back, the international guys. Got plenty of game time into folk too, which is important, which perhaps we missed last year. We spread it a bit thin, so we got a lot of minutes into people. So overall, pretty pleased.
I was going to say, you can do so much in training, you can run them up the beach, whatever, but it's nothing to a game at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think, you know, that there are things that we do that, in terms of how we play, that when you train against each other all the time, you start to defend against yourselves or attack against yourselves. So now that we're into the competitive bit of it, you know, you do see some things that flash up that you remember. Most sides will pile bodies into the breakdown. It's not something we do defensively, but other sides will. So even with the low tweaks, you know, it's still a competitive, contested area. So it's important that we get our minds right for that pretty quickly.
Look at the two games first. The Pirates, it was a lot of the new faces were more in that side. How do you feel they went, and what did you make of that performance?
Yeah, it's tough. I think for a lot of guys coming in, or externally, it always looks like it's easy to slot in. It's not. We're quite a complex club in terms of how we play. I know it looks at times fairly simple. There's certain things that we do. There's a lot to learn. So very much we loaded that Pirates side with the new guys to give them the opportunity to get lots and lots of reps in, really, both line-out scrum and away from that too. So pretty pleased with how those guys are coming on. Well, very pleased really. I think they're looking pretty good nick and get some pressure on each other in the squad. But there is a lot to learn, and you do see sometimes in certainly the first half of the second game, just early on, just how smooth and easy it is for those guys who've been here for a while and have been playing. So it's just trying to ramp those other guys up to that level as well.
As we saw, the second one was a notch up again. The speed was a lot more. There was more tempo. The intensity was there. That's probably more what you expect. Yeah,
definitely. And again, it'll go up again next week in Cardiff, and then up again the following week, obviously at Gloucester. It is about making sure that we get up to those intensity levels that we need to, and you know, as I say, some of the guys are pretty much ready to go. Some of the guys will be in 2 weeks' time. But it's just to keep pushing through with what we do.
Rob said in the week that everyone's place is up for grabs. Everyone's a clean slate, and these are the weeks where you've got to make it count. Yeah, you know,
there's different things. There's a lot of guys who came in who didn't play in the final, who were pretty charged up to play in that first game and to try and play in the final again. Because although it was great for the club and for all of the squad, still there's guys there who really want to push and really get a start in place and play in another one. I think competition for places is pretty high. We've obviously got the new guys come in and added to that, but also just even in amongst the guys who've been here a while, some of them have come back in great nick and certainly looked like they learnt the lessons of last year when we came back in. We were probably a bit undercooked.
You won't tweak too much with the formula, but will lessons be learnt from last year? Because pre-season went well last year. But
do you know what? Well, you could say that pre-season went well last year and it was a disastrous start, but we won it. So you know, we could win the first 4 games and then not win it. Would that make this pre-season terrible? I think every year we look back and go, right, this could be better. That could be tweaked. I think that the reality is that we'll be ready to go against Gloucester, and that's all that counts now.
Looking ahead to next week, Cardiff, what sort of threat do you expect them to pose?
No, we haven't really looked at them too much yet. We'll have a look at their game from over the weekend. You know, at home, and again, any side that's building in pre-season and looking to get into their league, you know, you're trying to force things into the game, and so in a little bit, it's not getting too carried away with what they do. So we're really focusing on making sure that we're sharp on our foundations, sharp on our basics. You know, our basic skills, the basic foundations of what we do. That's the important bit.